All right, so we have Fortune's Fool.
How did that get here?
It's magic.
When this happens in the show, it's always amazing to me that our production team and the
Production
people,
team is
the invisible
fantastic.
people that you can't
Yeah.
see that make things happen. It's phenomenal.
Absolutely. So Fortune's Fool, this is Prelude, which is their first iteration. Overture is their newest one, which I have not tried yet, and you said you have not as well.
Not the second one.
I've not either.
But my wife has. She says it's really good. So there you go. So shout out to Dr. Julie and Fortune's Fool. Thanks for choosing this one.
Yeah, that's a hell of a pick right there.
I may not shoot this. I might just
Sip
sip
it?
this one. Yeah.
All right. It's good.
That's oaky. I said that at the last bourbon I had. So it's been a while since I've had bourbon.
Oh, okay.
So the forefront of the barrel is so much more there for me in a bourbon today than what it used to be.
Okay.
Mainly because I drink a lot of Blancos and Repos and a few Añejos, but you don't get that same.
Totally different.
Oh, it's completely different.
Full body, caramely, oaky, like you said.
Caramely is what I hear. Again, Brad knows my tastes are not very refined,
He
so
has
I
taste-
really can't
he
pick
has
out the
taste.
What
flavor.
does it taste like?
I hear
Coke?
caramel a lot. No, it doesn't. I can't even pick out oak, to be honest. But this
So-
does taste different than the last
Yeah.
Okay, so
one that we
try
had.
that with what we talked about before.
Oh,
Okay,
okay.
I got it.
Smell from the front.
Oh, I can smell caramel. 100% smell caramel.
Well,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's like candy.
Now, honestly, this
That's
is going to sound weird, but that smells like a barn at the county fair. Not in a bad way. Like the cedar.
Yeah.
You know,
I smell wood too.
Yeah, the
I'm
wood
with
that
it.
they put
Yep.
down
Okay.
at the county
Yep.
fair.
Yeah,
Like,
all right.
Yeah.
I don't go to many county fairs very
well, there was a lot of fun at our county fair. And then smell it from the top.
I got caramel on the last one, though.
I got a lot of caramel and vanilla on the top.
Love me some caramel, so
Yeah.
maybe that's
Yeah.
why I like this.
Yeah, see that's a lot of different
It
aromas
changes
if
every
you
time.
focus on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not as refined as tequila. Tequila's more fresh to me.
All right,
I'd agree with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm a big bourbon guy, of course, but yeah.
With the way that bourbon, so one of the things that I think is amazing difference from tequila to bourbon is no one would drink a white dog, a straight out
Yeah.
of the still bourbon, right?
Right.
The flavor of bourbon it's a corn mash, and until you put it in the barrel, the complexities and the flavors
They don't
come
arrive.
from the barrel.
That's right.
Where tequila, you drink a Blanco right out of the still because that gives you that, again, three things: yeast, water, and agave, right? It's how you make it. The flavor has to be a great Blanco to make a good Añejo or a good Reposado. Where I think the barrel covers up what maybe a not great mash may taste
Interesting
like.
perspective, yeah. The barrel has a lot to do with it. In fact,
Yeah.
Not to bust anybody's bubble, but a lot of people feel if you let bourbon sit around, it just ages and it gets better.
No,
The moment the bourbon comes out of the barrel, it's done.
that's the same with wine.
Yeah. Well, wine actually ages.
A little
depending
bit,
on
but-
temperature
But your
and
flavor
exposure.
notes come from that barrel,
That's right.
and once you put it in that
That's right.
bottle and you seal it,
That's right.
it's sitting there. Now,
there
once
are
once you breathe it,
yeah,
now it can age more, and the oxygenation of it.
That's
but
right.
it's not picking up flavor from that glass.
That's right.
It's picking up flavor from the barrel.
right. And there's ways to cheat a little bit. Have you ever seen the little pieces of stave you
there's
can buy?
There's a bottle up
I think
here
I
with
gave
a
you
stave
one.
in it. Yeah,
I thought I gave you one actually.
I remember
did.
having
Bullets,
this one
yeah.
time. Yeah.
Yeah.
it is up here. It's
So you can buy them in a lot of different places, but
Wolfhead.
oh,
It's got a
Wolfhead, yeah,
stave
that's
in
the
it.
one. Yeah, that's right.
I remembered that of all things.
Yeah.
And you can buy different kinds of staves, cherry wood, walnut, oak, whatever you want. Just put it in there and it continues the aging process, and it's good.
There's guys that do that with tequila. They buy different staves and they name them, they time them. And there's some bourbon folks that talk about how long they let theirs go. And tequila guys, it's days,
Yeah.
not weeks, because the agave literally works differently with the oaks and the barrels than what a bourbon does. So your flavor changes become too strong if you leave it in the agave too long, like it does in a bourbon, but
Yeah.
the time frame is much shorter. I just learned some of that. It's kind of cool.
Yeah, it is. Very interesting.
I got a paper question.
Uh-oh.
I'm glad you do. It also is cardboard.
Okay.
It's paper board.
Paperboard.
You were both close.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm going to assume, and I
You're
apologize
not,
if
you're
you've
not
already
supposed to assume things.
apologize if you've already answered this, because I kind of think you have, but I'm going to ask again anyways. You didn't grow up thinking someday I'm going to work in the paper company.
No.
What did you want to be when you were young, Chris?
In engineering.
Engineer.
Yeah, so anything to do with engineering, whether it be roads, airfields, buildings. In
Oh,
fact,
not driving a train.
not driving a train, ice cream truck maybe for a little bit.
Did
But
you ever be the garbage truck guy? A lot of kids wanted to be a
Oh,
garbage
yeah.
truck driver.
Well,
I
they
did.
see them all the time.
yeah, anything with an air horn. I just wanted to
Oh.
grab that string and sorry.
Okay.
This anyways. No, I had no desire to do it at all. Again,
Okay.
it was, when I was 27, I was like, I got to do something.
That was going to be
Mm-hmm.
part B to that question. I still have another. So you went into that because essentially you needed a job, family situation.
I skipped that part. That's actually,
Okay.
I'm glad you asked the question. So when I got out of the military, I had no intentions on doing anything different than engineering. That's what I did when I was in the military during peacetime. I prided myself to be somewhat of a good operator, and I had a good ability to understand projects, planning, value, things like that. So I thought, you know what, I'm really marketable. When I get out of the military, these people are going to love my discipline.
Yeah.
They're going to love the fact that I care, I have attention to detail. They didn't.
Ah.
But I went to work for a couple of great companies, local companies in Wabash. I don't know if I should mention their names. or
Yeah,
not,
go
but-
ahead.
Yeah, I
They're
mean,
not watching.
Eads and Sons.
Terry and Scott
Yep,
and Tad and
yep.
Troy, that's a great group of
Great
people.
company. They're very well known across Indiana and other locations, I'm sure too. But anyways, they gave me the opportunity to operate with them, and at the same time I was doing that, I worked for the International Union of Operating Engineers out of Kokomo. And I had
Well,
just
why
spent.
wouldn't the international office
Yeah.
be in Kokomo?
I'm not sure why they call it that, but anyways, big name, meant a lot to me. I got a T-shirt. Anyways, so I was working with them for a little bit, and I could be in South Bend one day and Terre Haute the next. And I'm like, you know what? I just did this for 10 years. Do I really want to do this? I got a family, young family. Money's
How many
good.
kids at this point?
2 kids at this point.
Okay,
Yeah,
so-
very young.
Wait a second. So you were a union operator.
Yep.
You realize I was a union bricklayer.
Is there a handshake?
I don't know. Look away.
Not for us Republicans. There's not.
That's right. Pump the brakes.
I like Clinton.
Yeah, so I really, we better take a drink after that. Sorry, Don.
I'm not in the union anymore.
But anyways, so I just, I did that for a little while, and I said, this is not
Dude, I didn't know
sustainable.
that.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I did it so I did it, I didn't want to let go of the dirt pushing, all right? That's
Sure,
what I called
yeah.
it, because I loved it. Anything to do with that, I loved. And I just couldn't keep traveling like that. So I actually worked at the local paper mill at the same time I had this job for a period of time before I finally said, you know what? I'm going to cut strings. I think I can do something at this place. And
And
been there
back in the day,
since.
it was called Container, right? That was the
Container,
name of the
yeah. It's had a
factory.
lot of different names, yeah, no doubt.
And so how'd you get on? Like, how'd you get hired? Because back when we were that age, that was like a hard hire. There
Very
was two
hard.
places hard to get on. Container
Well,
and
I'm
Ford
an
meter
engineer.
box.
That's right, yeah. I'm an engineer.
Ford meter box was the
Yep.
other great hire. That's a great place to go to work. Still is today.
Yep. So funny story. A lot of people like to hire military people, right?
Right.
Because they have a level of discipline a lot
sure.
of times that are different than other people, right?
Sure.
There's percentages of groups of people. Again, going back to doesn't make you better or worse, just that's a thing you have, right?
I'm gonna say if you went and you served, especially in the time frame that you served,
It said
yeah,
something.
you were better.
It said something, right? Saudi was going on, Somalia, I was in Haiti, I was all over the place. So
Yeah.
that kind of meant something. So
There's
Yeah.
a better piece
yeah.
there.
Definitely.
And Melissa's dad actually worked there for a number of years
Oh, no
too,
kidding.
so I had a little bit of an inside. But even at that, it took me several months before they finally said, let's
Wow.
give this guy a chance. And once I got in there, I remember working for this guy. God rest his soul, I'll say that. I won't mention his name. He passed away. But he looked at me and he says, what are you doing here?
Yeah, I got that as a bricklayer. Yeah.
Yeah. He said, this is not your thing. I can tell you don't want to be here. He says, what are you going to do? You need to either do a different job or get out of here. And this is my boss telling me this. And he says, so tell me, what do you want to do? And I said, I want to take your job.
Yeah, what's your job? That's
Oh.
fantastic.
I want to take, that's the God's honest truth. I told him that. And I said, I'm going to take your job.
How did he take that?
He didn't, he just kind of laughed it off, lit another cigarette and walked away.
I mean, if you ever say that to somebody, they're like, oh, yeah, right. And then they're like, I was that guy.
Yeah, that's
Most
right.
of them were that guy.
And
That's
I
right.
mean, ideally, someone hears that and A, maybe they're inspired by it, and B, I hope their goal is to move beyond the job they're at.
That's
So
right.
like,
That guy is that
hell
guy.
yeah,
Yep.
come on.
Yep.
Every time that guy is that guy. He's like, yeah, come get it, because I'm going after his job.
There you go.
That's a thing.
That's right. And if you're a strong leader, you actually want your
Right.
people to be that way.
Right.
Right.
Absolutely. You want to encourage them, nurture them, and help them grow for sure. But that's how it happened.
Okay.
And, you know, the more I sat around, not literally, maybe the
No,
bosses
right.
listen. No, the more I looked around and I watched the process, I just kept on thinking, we're like this all the time. It's up and down, up and down. Nobody really knew what good was because we were either really bad in the middle of the road or really good. And it was just all over the place. And I thought, man, what if we standardized this? What if we said, this is our capability as we sit today, and we build a guideline and rules around that capability, and we bring everybody up to the same level, like we were talking earlier, and then we say, all right, that's good. We're operating at a magnificent pace. We're making money. We're doing good. And then you look at the bottom line and you say, if I'm not making the amount of money that I should be for this company to grow, what's it going to take for me to get there? Do I have more opportunity with standard work, or do I have to make a capital investment to get it to the next level? And that's the journey over and over again. You think about us. If I can say one more thing.
No,
Sorry.
it's fine.
So when you walk into a business, so the paperboard mill in Wabash actually opened up in 1890.
Dang,
1890.
a long time ago.
One of the paper machines that's producing 260 tons a day of paper, 359 days a year, hasn't had a solid operational upgrade since 1976.
Isn't that crazy?
Jeez.
So you think about
Oh
that.
my gosh.
So you think about that, right? And this machine all by itself has, $80 million a year in sales. So how do you go from what that machine did in 1976 and maintain its sustainable state in 2024?
That's crazy.
When they built that machine in 1976,
Didn't
they
even
had
dream of 2024.
didn't even dream of it.
We'd
Didn't
have
dream of
flying
the
cars and live
capability.
like the
Almost
Jetsons
50
with it.
years.
That's right, and we're still pulling levers, figuring out how to do things better today.
Oh my word.
And it's fun. It's
I
fun.
bet it is.
Once you reach that peak, though,
What
you're
kind
like,
of
I need
engineer
some
are
money. I was construction.
Okay.
Yeah, so
So I don't know a whole lot about the facility, but here's what I remember as a child with a dad that was a fireman in Wabash, Indiana, right? My dad came home one day and he was like, "Oh, today was a rough day."
Yeah.
And I said, what do you mean, Dad?
Yeah, right.
I
You
didn't
have no
talk to him
idea.
a whole lot. He didn't talk a whole lot. He didn't share a whole lot. He said, well, we spent the day today trying to identify the remains of a guy who fell into
Ooh.
one of the pulper
Yeah.
at the plant. And he's like, we found his wallet.
Mm-hmm.
Like that was, I guess, like a grinding machine, right?
Yeah. Takes the paper, mixes water, turns it into like an oatmeal type slurry.
And the guy fell
There's
into
a
it.
big, yeah,
And I remember that as a kid going,
yeah,
like, huh?
Yeah.
As a kid who had a dad fall through the roof of a church on Christmas Eve, putting out a fire, and
Oh, my
almost
gosh.
died. I'm like, man, I'm glad you don't work in a dangerous place like that. Right? But when a lot of us don't realize the products that we use every day, the product that we're mad about because we have too much of it because Amazon delivered everything in a box that we're cutting up. Somebody not only busted their butt and sweat hard to earn a buck, but also, in some cases, literally risk their lives to do what they do.
that's right.
And there's a point where we don't all be thankful enough for the things that happen around us every single day.
We've become a little bit unconscious to our surroundings, unfortunately.
so much.
It's sad.
Not a little bit, a lot of it.
Yeah, it's really sad. I mean, I told a friend of mine that I want to write a book about it, an unconscious society, and I don't want to draw out the negatives associated with it, but I just want to raise awareness to, hey, this is happening around you today. You can make a difference if you just open your eyes and realize it.
Negatives can create positive change.
Yeah, that's right. Absolutely.
Have you ever read?
Why did you just look at me like that?
Shut up, Brad.
For me or something?
Shut
It
up,
was
Brad.
me, rubbing some shit out of my eye, and maybe my eyes opened wide. I don't
I
know.
don't know. You looked at me like, wow, that idiot said something.
It was the
profound.
finger you used to rub
You know
your
what?
eye.
You can put context into whatever you want.
Yeah.
Anyway, have you ever read the book Average Sucks?
I've not.
Okay. What you said about how your company was doing a lot of this, and you try to create a baseline. And then once your company reaches that baseline, then you got to go above that.
That's right.
That's totally what the book Average Sucks is about.
I got to get it.
Yes, because, I mean, it's totally, people, the majority of people in the world are average. Okay, and there's really nothing wrong with that. But if you want something to be better, you have to go above that. Well,
right.
once you reach the above that, whatever it is, well, now that's your average. So now you have to go above that.
I love it.
So,
Why haven't you told? I tell you about books all the time. You've never shared that with me.
A, I haven't finished the book.
Yeah, share
It's
it
one
when
of
you
the
do.
3
That's-
books next
yeah,
to my bed.
Love it.
But B, I mean, it's a very straightforward. I mean, the gentleman runs, workshops and stuff like that, which I've done. But yeah, and there you go. Average sucks.
I remember. If I can tell one more story along
Feel
those
free.
lines. Yeah. So I
We're
worked
here
for a guy.
you, Chris.
Amazing. I love it. Special guest. So I won't mention this guy's name. Maybe I will a little bit later if I have another shot. But
Right.
this guy was a tyrant, one of the most brutal bosses I've ever worked for in my life. But I got him. I got it, right? I understood who this guy was and why he was the way he was. A little bit immoral, a little bit unethical, but this guy was hard frickin' core. So I got promoted to superintendent, and the process was wildly out of control. We had some really, really good days where people were clapping hands, high-fiving, all this kind of stuff, and the other times we were on fire, sometimes literally. And he says, "You're the guy now. Here's your pay," which
You
was
fixed it.
which was enough for me to say, "Okay, I'll be that guy." And I took the job, and he says, "What are you going to do?"
Oh.
And I said, "We're going to take the lowest performing crew in this mill, and we're going to make that person the
Make them
standard."
the best.
Oh, so good. Yeah.
We're gonna make them.
And we brought, so I'll give you an example. We have some all-stars all throughout life, but at the mill we had some all-stars that would come in and be like, "I can do so much better than those guys that just left. Let's speed this baby up. Let's make more tons." You know how hard it was to tell those guys, "No, slow down. You're going to run at the same level that the worst people in this mill are running at." And once we're all doing it exactly the same way, we're going to figure out how we did that, and then let's all come up together. And suddenly things started, mellowing out. It was fun. It was a fun journey. But that guy, the tyrant, he's like, can I use a cuss word?
Oh,
Feel
hell
free.
yeah.
"You stupid motherfucker, what are you doing?" I heard that a bunch. But it worked, and we made money, so.
You know what that just reminded me of is the show The Bear.
Oh, yeah. Great
So
show.
I know you didn't like it.
No,
you
no,
didn't like
that's wrong.
You
You
can't
did like
rest.
it?
I'm fine with the bear. There's parts of it I don't like, and then there's the classification of it in the comedy category,
Yeah,
which
why's
I have
that?
a huge
There's a lot
problem
of funny
with.
stuff
Agreed.
in there.
There
Same
isn't a
thing.
lot of funny stuff.
Okay, but-
Anyways, continue.
There was one chef that made him feel like an idiot, and he was hard on him, and he yelled at him, but when he confronted him in the hallway of the bathroom,
Yeah. Uh-huh.
and he's yelling at him, "Why'd you? Who cares?"
Right.
And he starts to tear up a little bit, and he said, "Well, look at who you are."
Yeah,
Right? I mean,
it's true.
iron sharpens iron, right?
Yeah.
I mean, he made him one of the best chefs ever. And there's so many times in life that we're waiting for somebody to pat us on the back.
Yeah.
Right? We want that participation trophy. We want to know we did a good job.
Yep.
And when you're the boss, when you're the owner, when you're self-employed like yourself, there's nobody to tell you that.
My dog.
My
She
dog,
doesn't
she
care.
leans on me and licks me.
Mine does not care.
But she doesn't care that if I was a failure today, right?
Sorry, continue.
But the hard part that I have to remember as a owner of a company, I have to remember that, I go to closings and I have people tell me, "Oh man, you guys did a great job.
Yeah.
We love you. You're amazing." And we have our people, even in your position, to tell you did a great job.
Mm-hmm.
But that guy that's doing the everyday work goes home. He's not reading the Google reviews, right? So, like the other day, we had the biggest. August was our biggest month of this year. It was a
Outstanding.
really good month
Congratulations.
for all of our team, and our team worked really hard. I really didn't do
Outstanding.
much of it.
Good job, team.
So, I
Matt.
messaged them. Look, you guys killed it. This was the best month of the year, and none of this would have happened. And oh, by the way, there were 7 Google reviews of people that said we did a great job that you guys didn't see. And I said at every closing, listen to tell us how great of a job we did. You guys weren't there. So you need to know how great of a job we did. And there's a transfer from trying to get to that position to letting the people know that work with you to come on up. This is why you're doing a great job too. And so how do you, on an everyday basis, try to share that with a team of people that are working every day to let them know that I'm not pandering to them, but I want them to know that's a hard thing.
It's really hard.
Kissing ass down is much easier than kissing ass up. And how do you do it where it doesn't come off that way?
So you got to rise above the situation. All right, you've got to acknowledge both the bad and the good, or the opportunity and the good, if you will. But in a performance managed operation, you have targets every single day. And we've said that if you don't meet this target, then you didn't make your budget, right? And if you didn't make your budget, you're not making money for the company. So instantly there's this taboo associated with not meeting a KPI, key performance indicator, right? But if you want to come down there and plow somebody in the face for doing a bad day or a bad thing or a bad job, they're going to shut down on you.
Right.
First of all, right now, anybody can go anywhere they want in this world and get a job, right?
It's slowing down.
It's slowing down.
Tomorrow
it's
we'll
gonna
actually
be a big,
see how much
you're
it's
right,
slowed down.
You're right. My E-Trade
unemployment
account's going to
report
do
goes
something
up.
for sure.
For sure. You
A
kinda
million less in
did
Joel.
it today.
Yeah, no.
A million less
2
in
days in a
Joel.
row, yeah.
Oh, gee whiz.
We were supposed to see 8.6, and we've
Yeah.
seen 7.6.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
A million less in jobs in Joel's
Yeah.
report.
Recorded
it's not
September
good.
6th, by the way.
But you gotta hold people accountable to meeting that standard, but you also want to keep them at a level they can operate at, right?
Right.
There's good constructive discipline, and a lot of time people associate discipline with something bad, like you're in trouble.
Yeah.
Right.
But discipline is the formality of the structure.
Right.
That's
This
true.
is what you have to do every single day to be successful. Did you do it or did you not? And if you didn't, tell me why. If
Right.
you didn't meet your target, let's talk about why you didn't meet your target and what we have to do to get you back there.
Is it my fault?
But
Or
nurture
is it
'em.
your fault?
Yeah, well, I'm going to tell you that being in a leadership position is always my fault.
Right on.
Good
That's
answer.
awesome.
Yeah, it's always my fault because I didn't do something right to
Yeah.
nurture the people
To bring
around me.
that there.
Yeah,
That makes sense.
it's fun though.
Okay, another paper question.
Uh-oh.
So, technologically, people are using a lot less paper. So, how does that affect your business, potentially your future?
Super, super great question.
Thank
All
you.
right. First of all, what we make,
By the way, my wife is a huge eco nerd.
Thank
and
you.
she is
Good.
all about not using as much paper as she possibly can. So
Okay.
this question might be for Stephanie.
So this is going to, I hope she's listening, Stephanie. So the paper we make is from 100% recycled products.
Okay.
We take,
Doesn't that just make it more expensive?
it's less expensive. Can we turn this off? No, it's less expensive. Honestly,
Green New Deal, people.
It's less expensive to make, but more to sell? I mean, what the hell?
So here's
Sorry.
the deal. No, it's a very good question. So
It's a very Green New Deal.
there's
There you go.
there's an absolute science behind what we do. All right, it's crazy. We couldn't even go down half the path
The
required in the show.
recycling thing fascinates
It's
me.
100% recycled. So we are
That's
taking curbside trash.
Okay.
In most cases, sometimes we're taking waste from a plant that's making boxes, and we're taking 8% of brown fibers, like your cardboard boxes. We're taking 8% of cereal boxes. We're taking 8% of newspaper, and we're mixing that together in the same percentage all the time. Okay?
So cool.
These other guys out there where you see the bright white paper and the dark brown paper, that's virgin paper, and those are the guys that are cutting down trees to make their product.
Okay.
We cut down no trees.
Good for you.
Now, I'll acknowledge that at some point, somebody had to cut down a tree in order for them to make that box that we
Right.
could recycle it.
That's all right.
And
That's not
maybe
your-
we wouldn't
that's not
have as
your
many
problem.
if we wouldn't have as many wildfires if they cut down a few more trees.
Yeah. So the Wabash
Just gotta rake the
Mill-
leaves.
Yeah. So I'm just giving round numbers, okay? Because I don't want to,
It's
uncover
fine.
too many secrets or anything like that. But Wabash, for example, is making somewhere north of 160,000 tons of paper a year. And that's 160,000 tons that would have gone to the landfill.
Nice.
And we took it and turned it into something for, companies across North America.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So fun stuff.
I ask Chris all the time, like, dude, did you have like a good day today? He's like, why do you ask? I'm like, I had like 11 boxes delivered by Amazon. Every time I'm cutting up a box, I'm like,
Recycle
dinner
it.
for Chris. Dinner for Chris.
You know what's sad? That's funny. I got to share something that's sad because I want people to realize this. Okay, so have you ever been by the recycling facility in Wabash? Like over by the funeral. I know you haven't been there in a long time.
I know where the landfill is.
Okay, so Manchester Avenue, it's just a little bit southwest of the landfill entrance.
Okay, yeah. I know what
They
you're
had
talking
all these blue hoppers, hundreds and hundreds, right? They posted all these great rules. They keep it very clean, and people started taking their TVs there, their dead dogs,
throwing
whatever,
garbage.
just throwing garbage in there, right? But before, every single day, people were dropping off recycled material in there that was going to a good use, but the city had to shut it down.
Yeah.
Because people are just bringing pop cans and junk that belongs in a landfill, so they had to stop it. So if you're serious about recycling, there's ways to do it. Don't throw your trash in there.
You know, in Indianapolis, there's been a couple of shows about it actually, and we have a place here called Mount Comfort Transfer, and it is part of waste management, and that is an area where recycling trucks dump all of the stuff people put in recycling because they've reached the maximum amount they can take to the recycling facility, and then just goes to landfill.
Wow.
Disappointing.
Yeah, I've heard that before.
And
I've seen it.
And then there's also, I've seen several like videos, and so you got your recycling out and you got your trash truck out. So you got your blue trash.
Yep,
and
I've got my recycling bin.
then
That's good.
the company comes through and the truck that picks them up goes
Yeah,
scoots
right.
forward and goes,
Yeah, yeah.
Sure.
putting them all in the same truck. You're paying more for recycling than it's all going to one
Same
facility.
spot.
It happens. Absolutely, it happens.
Yeah,
It's a
and when
shame.
you dig into recycling,
And people are paying for that, by the way.
yeah, they pay extra.
That's
for it.
right. Yeah.
When you dig into what percentage of things actually get recycled, it's a crazy
Pretty
low.
low.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And,
Absolutely.
and did you know like
Can I just send it to
And
your
then
house?
dry, please do.
Hey, do you know
And
your
it dries our
plastic
price
bags?
up. Yeah.
They put them together, recycling plastic and plastic bags. Those get put into bundles. They get put onto boats. They get shipped to other countries, and they get incinerated.
So we could go down that path
crazy.
for hours, right?
My plastic bags have dog shit in them.
They don't care.
We can do something with it. Yeah, it's
They're
a
putting it in
shame.
a boat, and they're going way out into the ocean, and they're dumping it.
And when that goes on a boat, it causes my cost to go up, and raw fiber is my
Yeah.
highest cost.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's insane.
So not there's not good out there. I mean, there's good out there, but when you
Yeah.
see some of the, 60 Minutes did a thing not too long ago on plastic, and you're like, I don't think I'm ever going to recycle that
I
again.
mean,
Yeah.
for real, right now I'm thinking, why am I paying extra money?
Electronics.
Yeah,
horrible.
I usually
Did you
take
see
that
what those
somewhere.
do? You know what they do when you take those to a recycling facility?
No,
A lot of times they get sent to third world countries, and children
Take
and
Are taking them
are
apart?
taking them
Yeah.
apart to pull copper
That's
and
right,
gold,
gold
and
and
silver
all
out of
that.
it, and then they're
Circuits.
burning the plastic.
Ah.
You're like. So I said it to you when we got back from Mexico. Electric cars are going to, fix America.
Oh,
right?
I'm
We're going to
sure they
stop
are.
global warming.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
And I drove. I flew home from Mexico going. we have an infrastructure problem for electric cars in America.
Yeah.
And I don't know if everybody knows this or not, but we don't have all the cars.
Yeah.
We do not.
We have a very small percentage of the cars in the world.
That's right.
And we're doing all of these things to fix the globe, right? We're paying all these extra fees and taxes and all this. And there's some guy in India, that's burning a tire in the back of his
That's
tuk-tuk.
right. Yep. China, same way. Same way.
In the back of his
Could care
tuk-tuk.
less. And we're
We
like,
share the same atmosphere with them too.
you have to drive this electric car
Same
for
ozone, no matter where you
$90,000.
are.
That's right.
Oh,
Yeah, I was
Lordy.
like, there were so many cars in Mexico that aren't meeting any EPA.
Oh, there's no way.
Although Guadalajara, this was crazy. We flew into Guadalajara, we drove to Tequila, hour and a half. And Tequila was like what you picture Mexico, cobblestone streets and older cars. But on the drive back, Tony and I noticed as we were getting closer to Guadalajara, there's a KFC, there's an Olive Garden, there's an Applebee's, there's a Popeyes. And all of a sudden there was this point where all the cars were brand new. Then there were car dealerships just like here, like in districts.
Yeah.
Oh, look, Kia, Mercedes,
Were
Chevy.
they open on Sunday?
I don't know. I didn't pay attention.
Nobody's open. this
All of a sudden, we became a 3-lane freeway with everything being brand new and everything being very America, the homes being very America. And the airport, literally, is one of the nicest airports we've ever flown into or flown out of ever.
Very nice.
in flying. So it changes your whole thought process of, a third world country or
Yeah.
another country like Mexico. But there were no charging stations anywhere.
Probably
And
not
we
gonna
did see
be
one Tesla.
anytime soon.
Oh, wow.
And the guy in the Tesla was like, going, I hope we make it. I hope we make it.
Yeah, he had his trunk opened up. There's a barbecue grill in the back. He's cooking on it.
He had like a Honda generator full of gas.
Got an extension cord just following him.
All the
behind.
Fine.
It's no problem. We'll make it.
Yeah,
I got 100 yards.
very nice.
Holy cow. Well, Chris, I got to say thanks. I know this is an hour and a half drive for you to come down here on a
Love it.
weeknight, and I know you're busy. I know you work all the time because
So do
we
you.
don't get to see each other ever. And
Yeah.
I
just-
got to
I just
ask,
appreciate
will
it.
you be here for casino night?
I am absolutely had a great time last year. Took a little bit of money, so
All
yeah,
right.
I'll do it.
He's going to crash here next time. though.
I think we all donated back too, didn't most
Yeah,
everybody
actually,
donate
the
back?
It's a
last
donation,
one,
absolutely.
the winner of the 50-50 drawing
Yeah.
donated 100% of it back, and I think we raised like $3,000
Yeah,
for a
that's
good
awesome.
friend of ours who
Yeah.
really needed help, and then
Awesome.
we parlayed that into I think $25,000 raised in a silent auction.
That was fun.
The very next Saturday.
That was fun.
There's a guitar that came from.
Oh
that.
yeah.
Wow.
We were bidding. He was like,
did-
"Shut up! Stop
Shut
bidding
up,
again,
dude! I'm
yeah,
winning, man.
I remember what you
Run
paid
it
for it.
out.
But we bought everything. There was like 5 of us, right, that bought pretty much everything there.
Yeah,
and it went to a good cause.
Went to a great cause.
Yeah.
A great high school friend that was in need, and
Cool.
loved him, and it worked out great. And
Yeah.
this we haven't picked a charity yet for this one.
Okay.
It was easy for that one because it was a friend.
Yeah.
And we're like, we got to
Yeah.
help a friend. So, but we're gonna come up with a charity and
Okay.
put the money back to it. So we're really looking forward to it. Got the same
Outstanding.
setup coming up.
Excellent.
Probably more tequila drinks at the next one than the last one.
I would say a separate tequila tasting station
Ah,
led by
Yeah,
Brad.
hey, we could do that. I'm actually
that's a
doing
good
I'm doing a
idea.
tasting September 25th at Tailored Society in Carmel, Indiana.
I'll be on my cruise.
I knew you would be.
Is that what you do? You're a cruise guy all the time?
We
Yeah.
do cruise.
Nice.
This is probably my 12th or 13th
Wow,
cruise. Yeah.
outstanding.
Going with my
This
parents
year.
this time.
Yeah, this
That's
year.
fall.
Yeah.
My first this year.
Caribbean type stuff.
We're going Southern Caribbean. Never been there before, so we're
Okay.
hitting Aruba, Bonaire, and Curacao. Again,
Curacao
been
was-
on a lot of cruises, but
Yeah.
those are 3 I've never been to.
I always thought that was just pronounced Caraco.
Well, there are those who, and I might be pronouncing it wrong, to be
No,
honest, but
you're
I think
right.
it's correct.
Matt Braun went there,
Oh, okay.
and I
I mean,
know
I
you talked to
understand-
Matt on the phone. And you
I
met
understand
Matt.
reading Spanish. Yes, Matt was right here.
So Matt is the.
He's not watching. Hi, Matt.
Hi, Matt.
I'm at.
He's the corrector of all things,
Excellent.
and he finds shit. Like I'll turn in a loan, and here's a great example. The property's address was Quiet Way,
Uh-huh.
right? But the realtor put Quite Way.
That's
on the
wrong.
purchase agreement.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with that.
I docked it with Quite Way. Everybody signed all of the documents. The title company has it as Quite Way. So
Oh,
all of
geez.
these people, and Matt's like, the address is spelled wrong. I'm like, do you drive around in your car just pointing out all the shit that's wrong? And he's
Yeah.
like, unfortunately, yes.
God bless you, Matt Braun.
So it
I
is
love
pronounced
Curacao. There you go.
Yeah,
I'll
and
be
they
down.
loved it there.
So,
Good to know.
anyways, we'll be there going with my parents on a 8-day, 9-day cruise, something like that.
Outstanding.
Looking forward to it. Again, like I said, never been there before, so
Good
should
deal.
be good times.
Good
And
deal.
on a
That'd be
cruise
fantastic.
line I've never been on. We're going
Yeah.
celebrity cruises.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Are you
Something
gonna be
new.
hanging out with like Ryan Seacrest or something? He's a celebrity.
He is. I seen him.
I
on
believe
TV.
that I know he's
busy, but he may be on the cruise
working there.
I
Are
might
you
be-
Brian?
I might be the celebrity on this cruise.
Yeah.
I have no idea.
That's fantastic. Well, you have a podcast.
I do.
Are you going to talk about the podcast on the cruise?
I can almost guarantee at some point it will come up in conversation.
Okay, because I talk about our podcast everywhere we go.
I talk about it quite often.
Yeah, like we're not going to get there.
Can't grow
We
without
canut get
without
there.
growth.
Yeah, we
That's
gotta put it
right.
out there.
Yeah.
That's really good.
That was really. Did you just come up with that?
Profound
Yeah,
insight.
I did. I'm going to put that on a doily.
Put it on a
And-
T-shirt.
Can't grow
you know
without
what?
growth.
I think that's the anti-Weight Watchers thing.
Very nice. That was quick.
The reason they went out of business.
Oh,
the reason Oprah stepped out of Weight Watchers.
Oh, shit. All right. Well, on that note, thank you for watching once again. Chris, dude, this was a great episode.
Oh,
Thanks
this
for
is
being
fun.
here.
I think it's one of the best. Yeah.
It
For
was a
real.
lot of fun.
Success Happy
It's
Hour
like-
is a thing now.
Cheers.
We'll see you next time. Real Estate Makes Us Drink.
Thanks, guys.
Cheers.